Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal, and over the last few weeks I've taken a close look at all of our favorite classes and all of the gameplay changes so far in the Dragonflight Alpha. Personally, I'm going into this expansion with an open mind, taking a close look at all of the exciting new playstyles before I settle on my next new main. And Rogue, my current main in the Shadowlands, has seen new changes with this week's Alpha build. This set of updates brought in new class improvements and has fixed many of the class-specific talents, making it easier to test rogues and compare the overall potential against all the other playstyles. So in today's video, I wanted to highlight all of the major and important changes coming to rogues in Dragonflight, taking a cumulative look at all of the class updates and improvements that I've seen implemented over the last few weeks. However, in this early alpha, none of the class changes are final. There's a good chance that Rogue will continue to get regular updates and changes driven by community feedback. This is just a snapshot of what Rogue looks like so far in this current alpha build. But right before we get into the cumulative Rogue changes, most of you guys watching these videos are still not subscribed. However, the more of you are reminded, the more of you do. So let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel as well as to the bell if you're watching these videos anyway, especially if you want to catch regular class updates over on the Dragonflight Alpha. First, I want to take a close look at the Rogue basic class abilities. And the basic Rogue kit is pretty diverse. You'll still keep access to all of your basic poisons, as well as stealth and basic stealth abilities like Ambush, Cheap Shot, and Shroud. Rogues also get access to a baseline interrupt which other classes may have the talent into, as well as escape tools like Sprint and Vanish to flee from combat. Next, let's take a close look at the base Rogue talent tree. This talent tree will include utilities and abilities shareable by all three playstyles, and is generally broken into three different parts. Left hand side focuses on making rogues more deadly, middle row focusing on enhancing combat engagements, and right hand side focusing on stealth, guile, and trickery. Abilities like Evasion, Cloak of Shadows, Feint, Shiv, Blind, and Sap can easily be accessed in the top of the talent rows, as well as Numbing Poison, useful in PvE, the ability of Gouge, which is incredibly powerful in PvP engagements, as well as Shadow Step, now available for all three playstyles. The left column of the talent tree will let you pick up abilities to make rogues more durable, as well as Mark for Death for calm point generation, Leeching Poison for greater survivability, the passive of Seal Fate to increase calm point generation, and finally, the capstone of Thistletea for energy regeneration, which is a reference to a consumable of Thistletea commonly used by rogues back in Classic. Talenting straight down the middle lets you pick up acrobatic strikes for extra melee reach, which could be a nice quality of life update for PvE content. Elusiveness to feel more durable during combat, as well as the Shadowlands rogue carrying ability of Echo and Reprimand. Going down the right side of talents grants Cold Blood for the guarantee of critical strikes, Cheat Death for enhanced survivability, Find Weakness to let you bypass target's armor when using stealthy abilities, and the ability of Shadow Dance, which is incredibly powerful for its control value within PvP, and opens new Find Weakness focused playstyles for all three specs. Next, let's take a close look at the Assassination Rogue. The Deadly Assassin gets access to even more poisons than ever before, starting with Atrophic Poison, which will weaken your target, reducing their damage done by 3%, which sounds like raid and dungeon utility. That's very similar to Devotion Aura buff brought by Paladins. This Atrophic Poison could give Assassination Rogues a guaranteed raiding spot heading into Dragonflight. We also get access to Amplifying Poison, which will amplify the damage of your Envenom after building a few stacks on your target. And if you're a big fan of rogue poisons, you could use all of them with the new talent of Dragon Temper Blades, using as many buffs and debuffs at your disposal. The ability of Vendetta has been reinvented in Dragonflight and replaced with the ability of Deathmark. This ability marks the target with a powerful bleed and will duplicate all Garrote, Rupture, and Poison effects on your target, which can result in interesting gameplay situations going forward. The left portion of the Assassination tree focuses on nature damage, with Mutilate and Ambush dipping into poison bonuses. the ability of Shiv becoming even more toxic than ever. The Zoldyck Legendary returns to make your enemies suffer, and Kingsbane returns as a lethal Legion artifact poison ability. The right side of the talent tree will make your bleeds a bloody mess, with familiar ways of improving Garrote, and Shrouded Suffocation for even more bleed effectiveness, Scent of Blood for bonus agility, and Indiscriminate Carnage, which lets you spread dots with ease. This ability specifically feels incredible to use in AoE content and solves a lot of the Assassination AoE opener rotational issues. Finally, the Shadowlands abilities of Bone Spike and Sepsis return to enhance either poison or bleed-based gameplay. Next, let's take a close look at the spec of Outlaw, which gains even more access to cooldown reduction tools. Float Like a Butterfly expands cooldown reduction to defensive abilities. Cooldown reduction is somewhat unique to Outlaw, but why not share it with a party? Restless Crew will let you help your party recover the major abilities faster the more comm points you generate and spend. This new party buff could make Outlaw rogues more favorable when it comes to finding groups for endgame raiding and Mythic Plus content. The ability of Roll the Bones is still part of the Outlaw rogue toolkit, with even more ways of reducing its randomness. And if you find a set of buffs that you enjoy the most, lock him down with Keep 'em Rolling to take full advantage of these powerful bonuses. We see even more buffs to the ability of Blade Flurry, like finally expanding the amount of targets you can cleave in Dragonflight, as well as buffing its value against a handful of targets. Buff your pistol shots with a familiar Quick Draw, and stack those pistol shots with Fan the Hammer, which results in even more pistol shots as part of your basic rotation. New ambush playstyles have developed for the spec of Outlaw, with Heavy Hitter playing heavily into comm point finishers. Audacity lets pistol shots make ambush more usable in your basic rotation. Taken by Surprise buffs your haste when gaining stealth. And Hidden Opportunity lets ambush hit more than once. Adding ambushes into the Outlaw rogue rotation is surprisingly refreshing and adds new gameplay that may be able to support a Shadowlands focused playstyle. And finally, we have the spec of Subtlety, and the Subtlety talent tree is split into 3 different columns to enhance various parts of the spec gameplay. The left-hand side modifies your combat point building abilities, with familiar effects like Weapon Master, Gloomblade, and Shadow techniques. Symbols of Death is still around, buffing your energy and damage momentarily, potentially granting you bonus crit, and increasing the value of Shadow Strike and Backstab. You could also spec into Sepsis, a rogue Shadowlands Covenant ability, if you invest points into the left talent column. The right side of the talent tree will focus on AoE output, finisher damage, and shadow damage enhancements. Abilities like Black Powder, Secret Technique, and Shuriken Tornado can all be picked up to enhance your AoE output. Talents of Shadowed Finishers and Finality will amplify the damage of your calm point finishing abilities. And the talents of Veil Touched, Replicating Shadows, Deeper Daggers, and the capstone trait of Dark Brew will modify all shadow damage output, with Brew even converting all nature abilities and bleed damage into shadow damage instead, which can open up brand new gameplay opportunities for Subtlety and possibly a sustained focus damage playstyle going forward. Investing points deep into the right side of the talent tree allows you to pick up Flagellation, another Shadowlands rogue ability, from the Venthyr Covenant, which still strikes the enemy for shadow damage when using finishers, but will now be adjusted to buff your mastery instead, which makes it far more synergetic. And the center row of your talent tree will buff the damage and effectiveness of your Shadow Dance ability. Shadow Dance can now generate bonus combo points and provide bonus energy inside of burst situations, as well as reduce your overall damage taken and even buff the damage of Backstab when it fades. Shadow Dance will even spawn a Mist of Shadows, which will rejuvenate Rogue's mobility and will amplify the value of the common point finishers. We also see additional buffs to the ability of Vanish. Cloaked in Shadows grants the Rogue a Vanishing Shield for 30% of the maximum health when fleeing combat, and the talent of Without a Trace grants Vanish a second charge. And finally, while Subtlety isn't getting party buffs like Outlaw or raid debuffs like Assassination, they are getting a talent of Shrouded in Darkness, which will buff Shrouded Concealment to increase the movement speed of your party and raid by 60% while stealth. And that's going to be everything that we have so far regarding all of the rogue changes and improvements over on the Dragonflight Alpha. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about the class of rogue so far in the Dragonflight Alpha? What are your thoughts on the new rogue utility, like the Outlaw Rogue cooldown reduction party buff and the Assassination Rogue damage reduction debuff? Which of these three playstyles are you looking to check out the most? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As per always, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And as always, in the description of every single video and a live stream, we have a link to our Discord community channel. Probably the best place to reach out to me directly in case you want to let me know what you thought about this video update or discuss these recent class changes with the rest of the channel community. Join our Discord to become part of the community. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.